Mondy,
Hey,
news,
my
reviews,
light.
updates. Oh, go ahead. Do it. Get it out.
Hey, my light skinned liege.
Okay. I'm just gonna call you gay. Guys, news, reviews, updates, tidbits, factoids, and all that great stuff. We've
mm,
got a lot of things to discuss apparently. So
we do, huh?
let's do it, Monty. Let's get into it.
First interesting bit of news here is the merging between WWE and UFC. They formed a new company called TKO. Any thoughts on that as a or I guess former slash current WWE fan?
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. There was also just a string of releases today as we record the pod for some guys that have been there for a while. One in particular is Dolph Ziggler. Shout out to Dolph Ziggler, man. He was one of my favorite wrestlers for the past 10, 15 years. I still remember where I was when like he cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase and finally won the World Heavyweight Championship. It was such a moment. So to see him get fired after all these years, it sucks, but I guess that's just the business side of it. So the whole merger, I mean, obviously, like it's good for business, right? Like it's interesting though because this is kind of like a new era for like the WWE. Like Vince McMahon is no longer in complete total control of this company anymore, and in my 30 years of life, it's literally never been that way. So this is going to be a new era for the WWE. It's going to be a new era for the audience. Also worth noting that SmackDown just crossed like a billion or $2 billion deal to have SmackDown on USA on the USA Network. So I mean, look, it looks like things are moving up for the company. So I guess it's good news, but I think time will really tell if the WWE is still standing and is still running weekly like it is. Then we can say, I mean, I guess we can look back and say, yeah, this is a great move, but it's really hard to say in the moment for sure, for me at least.
Okay, I might be ignorant, but it seems like a really weird merger because like WWE is like um I don't know, a fucking play for niggas, and UFC is like actual combat sports. Like, what's the merger here? Is it just like the same marketing platform? Like what exactly is the merger? Do you know?
I mean, I just took it for they're being run by the same company. I don't necessarily know if there's going to be any crossover or anything like that, but
Yeah, not crossover, but okay. I was just wondering. Okay, like to what capacity is the merger? Like, okay, I'd say that makes sense, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, Speaking of WWE, The Rock did return recently, and of course it was a big moment for WWE fans.
You're funny.
He finally, I guess, showed the world that him and John Cena are cool. It was a big moment. He said it was like one of the loudest experiences he's ever had during his wrestling career. Any thoughts on that as a big Rock fan?
Yeah, I mean, I was watching it live. I was glad to see him, of course. I was super shocked. It's amazing to hear just the amount of cheers that he can still get at 52. And yeah, I mean, it was great to see him. It was great to see him and John Cena have their moment. But with the writer strike probably about to end, I mean, he's fucking done with this shit. He's going back to work. I'm going to assume. So, uh, you know, selfishly, I kind of wanted the writer strike to keep going because that means that WrestleMania in Philadelphia, WrestleMania 40, the biggest WrestleMania of all time, he would have been there. But yeah, I mean yeah, he's definitely got Jumanji 3 and a whole bunch of other shit that he's trying to do. So I seriously doubt that he's going to make it to WrestleMania now, unfortunately.
Yay. Jumanji 3, yay. And lastly, speaking of fighting, I have to address the Jonathan Majors, the him breaking up the fight between the two teens. Um,
Ah,
just just don't insult my fucking intelligence. Like, nigga, that was the most obvious PR scheme that I've seen in a while. Actually, it was actually hilarious.
yeah.
So you telling me this
Completely
nigga went from
staged. Yeah.
yeah, like this nigga went from choking white bitches and now he's breaking up like the random fights. Like, come on now, like
Allegedly, Monty. Allegedly.
okay, okay. Hey,
Ah!
stop now. Y'all kids don't want to be doing this jive turkey meth.
Oh,
I'm like,
come
this,
on, Monty. Come on. Don't
nah,
do
bro.
that.
I love Majors. I love Jonathan Majors. I honestly want him to get off scot free. I don't care what he did, if he did or not. But this is just
Whoa.
this is this is just an insult to my intelligence, if I'm being honest.
Okay. Got
Any
it.
thoughts on the breaking up of the fight?
It was a funny day on Twitter. I didn't give a fuck about it, if I'm being real.
Okay. Just wanted your thoughts. A couple of bit of Marvel and one bit of DC news here. Marvel Studios VFX workers have unanimously voted to unionize. This is a big deal. We've been hearing for like the horror stories about these fucking VFX workers, like
Yeah,
70, 80, 90-hour weeks, getting told,
yeah,
do this shit. Don't take a fucking break. Do it, bitch. I'm like,
yeah.
Jesus Christ. So it seemed inevitable at this point.
There was a tweet that I saw the other day, and obviously I don't know how true this is, but there was a tweet I saw that it was just like we had to work for like 75 days straight on WandaVision. Like we didn't get
Oh
no
yeah, I saw
breaks.
that.
It's like what? Like what?
It's not funny, but it is like y'all niggas are like slaves. Like this, and Kevin Feige walking down the room.
Yeah. Sorry.
Start editing. Feige's here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ. My heart goes out to all those people. Like, God, like, what are we like? It's like I mean, like in 10 years, is there going to be like a documentary? Like
30 for
yeah,
30 VFX
okay,
workers.
yeah. Marvel made me do it. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Jesus
man.
Christ.
Kevin Feige, man. Every time you walk in that room, man, we just got the cold sweats, man. We do. He had that whip in his hand.
Yeah.
But yeah. Um,
Mm-mm-mm.
Random, but
Mm-mm-mm.
Werewolf by Night in color releases October 20th on Disney Plus. So, of
Mhm.
course, that special dropped last year, the short Marvel film. And now it's coming to in color. It was in black and white when it was released last year. Would you ever revisit this in color, or does that mean anything to you or not really?
I can't wait for this. One of my biggest criticisms of the original Werewolf by Night was that it was in black and white. Personally, it's just an aesthetic style choice that I literally have never liked. I've seen plenty of movies in black and white over my lifetime, and it's just a distraction for me. Like no matter in what facet it's tried to be portrayed in artistically, like it just is. And this movie was no exception. But I was a huge fan of what they were still able to do and seeing some of the violence and the quote unquote blood, I see why they went the black and white route. Jesus Christ, the black and white route.
You good? You good, Elmer Fudd?
Well,
There's
I
a
was
rabbit over there.
God damn. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm actually very excited to see this in color, and I hope that it is just as violent, and my imagination is satisfied with what I thought was a whole bunch of blood and guts that was happening in that last scene. So we'll see, we'll see.
All righty. I mean, I totally forgot it existed, but will this be enough to get me to revisit it again? Probably not. Chadwick Boseman and Lupita Nyong'o auditioned for Drax and Gamora and Guardians of the Galaxy. A, could you have seen it? B, would you have wanted it?
Chadwick Boseman did Drax and Lupita Nyong'o as Gamora. Yeah, I could have seen it. I mean, would I have wanted to see it? No, because I think
Hmm.
that especially Dave Bautista was perfect for the role, and it kind of launched his career in Hollywood. Um, and I don't think Chadwick necessarily needed that, but Lupita's Gamora, yeah, I could have seen it. If I'm being real, yes. Sorry, but I wouldn't have wanted to see it any other way. I like Zoe Saldana's Gamora, and I like Dave Bautista's Drax. So, and of course, if that would have happened, we never would have gotten them as T'Challa and Nakia. So, Nakia. So
Like,
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
never freeze. No, I totally agree. I totally agree. Dave Bautista's Drax is like one of the best castings in Marvel, in my opinion. And the whole Zoe Saldana Lupita thing, that's a little interchangeable to me, but I tend to side with Zoe just because I've seen her in 3 movies and I like her as Gamora. So
yeah.
I'm glad things worked out the way they did. Um, Travis Scott has expressed interest in working on the music for the new Blade movie coming out. Um, would you want his flair and a score for Blade or in a soundtrack for Blade?
I don't know, man. With supervision, maybe because Travis Scott, for anybody that doesn't know or for anybody that isn't familiar with his music's kind of out there. But it's Blade, right? So like, isn't Blade a kind of out there character? No, I don't. I don't know. I mean, I was kind of hoping that we could get like more '90s techno, but like, I completely understand that like that was just a product of the time, and
Nigga,
like,
you just want the old Blade. That's all you want. You want the old Blade just remade. Yeah, I mean, come on.
yeah, I do. But yeah, I mean, look, I mean, Travis Scott is very talented, so I'm sure if he's given certain parameters that he cannot cross, he's going to push him as hard as he can, and that he's going to make something probably really damn good. So Yeah, let's do it. I'm on board. Give it to Travis Scott. Let him make the soundtrack. Sure.
I actually agree with this one. At first, I was kind of turned off by the news, not because I dislike Travis Scott. I was like, are we? Why are we doing this? And then I thought about it, and I'm like, imagine a scene of Blade just fucking up hella vampires, and all you hear in the back is fiend, 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 fiend. I'm like, oh, that would be actually hard as hell. So yeah, Travis Scott, come on, do it. Wow, I said that crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Next bit of news. The internet. This is just a random DC kind of what the internet wants. I just want your thoughts on it. The internet really wants Jensen Ackles as Batman in the new DCU. Um, I think these rumors or this fan casting really got popular after his portrayal as Soldier Boy in the Boys season 3, which you didn't watch, but and his of course his voice acting as Batman in the animated movies. Could you see it? Would you want it?
So this is interesting because I'm coming from like a totally different perspective. This is the guy from Supernatural and Smallville to me. Like so like seeing him as Batman, yeah, he could do it. Yeah. I mean, if I'm being real, yeah, he could. Like I've already stated, his performance as Batman on the Long Halloween, I think it was called, was
Mm-hmm.
fucking fantastic. I would put it second to only Kevin Conroy. Like I really loved his Batman voice. Now, can he translate that to live action and still be Batman, like and still have the physicality of the role of Batman? You would be able to tell me better, I guess, as because like the Jensen Ackles I'm thinking of is 20 years younger. Like I don't know Soldier Boy Jensen Ackles, you know what I mean? So I mean, my hope is that he still has the physicality for the role and he can still do it, sure. But I honestly don't know. I mean, yeah, I mean, what do you think?
Yeah. Well, first of all, who did he play in Supernatural? I'm just curious.
He
I
was
mean,
the lead.
not Supernatural, in
Oh,
Smallville.
Smallville. He was like a recurring role for seasons 3, 4, and 5. He played some menacing character who ended up being on the dark side. It was cool. It's
Okay.
funny
Well,
because he was actually going to be Clark Kent in Smallville before Tom Welling got cast, which is
oh
hilarious.
wow,
Yeah.
nice little fun fact there. You got him up your
Mm-hmm.
sleeve, huh?
Tidbits.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I actually can totally see him as Batman. After I know him from Soldier Boy. I never watched some Supernatural, and in Soldier Boy and the Boys season 3, he absolutely killed it. He's got the great gravelly voice. He's got the demeanor. I actually saw a recent interview where it was so funny. He was like, before coming into the Boys season 3, he got like ripped and swole because like the cast was like, "Yo, this is a big role for you." And then the first day he gets on set, the guy who plays Homelander, I forgot the actor's name, is like, "Yo, like, just wearing a muscle suit. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you this big?" He's like, he's like, "Fuck you." But yeah, but yeah,
Anthony
I can
Starr.
totally see him. Hmm?
Anthony
Yeah,
Starr.
Anthony Starr. Yeah, Anthony Starr. So yeah, I can see it. I would like it, but I guess this would be like another Ben Affleck older Batman that we would have to do. So, which I'm cool with. I like that
Yep.
Batman.
Yep.
Uh, let's talk some trailers here. We have the trailer for the Harley Quinn spinoff show, Kite Man. Hell yeah. What is your thoughts, or what are your thoughts on this trailer? And did you watch the Harley Quinn series at all?
Never have seen any of the Harley Quinn series except for small clips that are posted online. And if I'm being real, the clips that I always see are super hilarious. Like the one with like where she gave that dude cancer with like a cancer ray gun. Like that clip is
Yeah.
fucking hilarious. The one with Calendar Man where he can't remember his kid's birthday, but he knows how long Poison Ivy's been in prison. It's funny. So like the Kite Man thing kind of fell right into it. Like the jokes about masturbation and like it's funny. Am I ever going to like take time out of my day to actually watch this? I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not. Um, but I will keep laughing at every clip that they post on TikTok or Twitter or whatever. But will I ever give the show a chance to watch like an actual episode of this? I don't think so.
Yeah, I actually watched like the first few episodes of Harley Quinn. I mean, like you said, it was super funny. I don't know why I started watching it. I don't know. I just took it out of my rotation. And Kite Man is actually like a recurring character on Harley Quinn. I assume it's like a fan favorite. So that's why he got his own spinoff show.
Mm-hmm.
I love how DC is like out of the Marvel and DC. Well, I guess Marvel's owned by Disney. That's why. But they're not afraid to go dark in adult. It seems like they do that kind of stuff far more often than Marvel does. So they like their own little niche. I wish the actual live action universe was like that as well. Snyderverse come back. It's just funny seeing Darkseid in this trailer as well. Like, what the fuck is Darkseid doing in a Kite Man show? Like, what are we doing here? But
Yeah.
like you said, I probably won't check for it, but I'll look forward to seeing the different clips and stuff like that. It should be pretty funny.
Yep.
Um, Issa Rae and Kid Cudi star in the first trailer for the new show coming to HBO Max, Young Love, releasing September 21st. Um, so that's very soon. What are your thoughts on this trailer? This black cartoon about family and things like that.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like they have made this live action so many times, and I'm not sure why this time it's animated. Maybe it was just strictly budget and they couldn't get all the actors together, but they really wanted this certain cast, so they shot for animation. Cool. Or maybe it's just for a younger audience to draw them in. Yeah, cool. Whatever. I don't know. I didn't see anything in the trailer that necessarily said, "Okay, I get it." Like I see why they're in this realm of animation.
Well,
Uh,
it's based off of that kids book that was very popular called Hair Love. So maybe that's why it translates for kids better.
okay. Don't know what that is, but cool. Wait, is that the one Ludacris did?
No, it's a book that kind of empowers young black girls to like love their hair and stuff like that. It's like a loose adaptation of that book, that children's book. They got like a very popular like a couple years ago.
Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, sure, yeah, yeah. The trailer didn't show me anything that like excited me and made me want to watch this. If I'm being 100% real, but doesn't necessarily mean I'm not going to watch it. This is on Netflix, you said?
HBO Max or Max.
HBO Max, yeah, yeah, just Max, yeah, 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 whatever. Sure, I'll check for this, I guess. Kid Cudi, Issa Rae, the mom that's in Loretta Devine. She's literally a mom and everything. Um,
Everything.
yeah, so cool. Let's do it. Sure.
Yeah, man, like you, man, I wanted to be super impressed by this trailer and be jumping for joy when it comes out, but the trailer didn't really do much to do that for me. And it's weird because I love Issa Rae, I love everything that she does. And Kid Cudi, after watching Intergalactic last year, is one of my favorite movies, with animated or live action. Like, it was such a great movie. I was like, yeah, this is going to be like right up my alley. But I don't know, I watched this trailer and I was like, I'd rather just watch Proud Family. Like, and I
Okay.
hate to do that to us, like, like, oh, we can only have one thing in the space, but it didn't do anything to separate itself or make me say, oh, okay, this is different. This is different enough from Proud Family that I want to watch it. But yeah.
Got it.
Um, we have the official trailer for the Disney Plus series Goosebumps. The series reboot has been released. This trailer came out like last week, 2 weeks ago, and they took it down real quick. Something happened, I guess. Maybe it got leaked or some shit, but it's out now. What are your thoughts on the Goosebumps trailer? Did you watch the old show? Did you read the old books? Do you have any kind of attachment to this IP, I guess, as well?
I know about the Goosebumps books. There was a movie with Jack Black not too long ago,
Mm-hmm.
also that I did not watch, and I don't plan on watching this either. I never really read any of the books. If I did, literally none of them had any staying power with me. The only thing that I really remember about them is that they had a very cool design for each one of their books and like a different color palette. But I don't care about this. I mean, I saw the trailer. It literally did nothing for me. It looks like they're adapting one of the stories, one of the mini stories in the Goosebumps franchise, but like, I don't care. This looks like regular Disney Plus crap, which is what it is. What? I could be wrong because I remember hearing that the Jack Black film was decent. So maybe this would be good too, or decent to good too. Who knows?
Yeah, this show looks like it's in the same vein as like American Born Chinese, which I enjoyed. I know you didn't enjoy it as much as I did, but I didn't for content. I did not read the books growing up. A lot of my friends did read the books. I remember like them having the books all
This
the
nigga
time.
Monty is just like reading. Ah!
Yeah, like
Fucking
reading.
weirdo.
Why the fuck would I ever do that? And I'm so serious. Um, I didn't watch the old show. I actually did watch the Jack Black movie. It's two of them. The first one was actually really good. I enjoyed it. I was like, wow, that's a pretty good kids movie. The second one I never watched because it just looked horrible. So maybe it is good. I don't know. I love the use of them using Travis Scott's Goosebumps song in the trailer. Like, that's just a fucking genius idea. Like, I get those goosebumps every time. Yeah, like that's what happens when we get millennials on the fucking marketing team. Like, we get shit like this. Like, that's just such a genius idea for a trailer. So that alone made me almost want to check it out. Excuse me. Jesus
Almost.
Christ. But yeah, I don't think I'll be watching this either, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it didn't
Oh, and
work, did it?
this just looks like American Horror Story for children, really. But hey, they need their
Okay.
American Horror Story too. We have the new trailer coming out for it's for the 2 episode premiere of Percy Jackson and the Olympian. This is the new updated trailer. The show is coming December 20th. This is a highly show that I really want to see really bad. I know you're a big fan of Percy Jackson as well. I chose, full disclaimer, not to watch this trailer. I just want to go into it as blind as I can. I feel like I've seen enough. But I know you watched it. So what are your thoughts on the trailer?
It's ugh. I hate this. I hate this because the trailer looked fantastic, and now my expectations are sky high, and that's just like it's just two things that literally never come together. Like I'm always disappointed when stuff like this happens, but I just can't help it. The trailer looked great. It was amazing to see Percy, Annabeth, and Grover together finally. It was amazing to see some of the stuff that they're going to be doing. It looks like they're very faithful in terms of the book. And bringing up the book really quickly, I haven't read the book in maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. Like it's been a little while since I've read it, and I was debating on if I was going to try to reread it before the series starts, and I
No.
think I really think that I'm landing on no, just because I'm already going to be hypercritical. But like me reading the book now and then trying to watch the series, I'm like, what the fuck? They're not following the material. Like I just like I know how I get, and I don't want to be that way. So I'm not gonna reread it. So hopefully, there'll be some things that slip my mind, or I won't realize till it's happening. Like, oh wow, they're doing this. Um, so yeah, man, I'm excited. The trailer looked great. Like I have like nothing negative to say about this. I I need it. Like I need it like now. I think that this is going to be awesome. So we'll see if I'm right. We will see.
Interesting, interesting. I've got two things I just want to bring up regarding the trailer. The first thing
You mean the
is
trailers I
that
haven't seen?
yes, trailer that I haven't
Oh,
seen.
got it.
So I saw Lance Reddick will be Zeus.
Hmm.
I assume, of course, his untimely passing this year. I assume he'll be recast as Zeus, or would you want that? I hate recastings in shows, but sometimes I understand it's necessary. But
I'm about to say, like,
like,
what else are they going to do? Yeah, they're going to have to fill the role. He's
do,
Zeus.
do you want do you want him to go completely left and just cast anybody, or do you want like another bald black man? Like you want him to kind of fit the bill?
I don't care what they do at this point. If I'm being completely honest, they could
Okay.
cast a white man. I would be totally fine with it.
And last thing, I'm just genuinely curious on your thoughts on this. I tagged you in a video on TikTok about this guy or this content creator was saying the differences between Rick Riordan's world building and J.K. Rowling's and Harry Potter. Can you just vocalize some of your thoughts on like what did you interpret in terms of like their world building styles, and do you kind of agree with him or do you not agree? Like what are your thoughts on that?
From what I remember from the video, it was more so about them attacking the fact that J.K. Rowling would introduce characters or worlds that wouldn't come up again until the end, or some shit like that. Like it was, like you said, like it was basically saying Rick Riordan is better at building things that have more meaning, I guess. Like whether it's Dahlia's group, the Huntresses, or whether it's Nico's group in the underworld, or whether it's Percy's group, or whether it's Jason's group, whatever. He's saying that those groups have more to do, and it's not just focused on Percy all the time, which depending on what you like that's it kind of reminded me of like the age old argument of like Naruto versus Naruto Shippuden, where in Naruto he isn't the only one that's getting the spotlight in the original Naruto. Like pretty much there's like so many great characters in the original, but once it jumps to Shippuden, like it's just the Naruto show. That's like a major criticism of Shippuden, but and I think what they're trying to say about Harry, or sorry, about Harry Potter, is just that like it's just about Harry, like it's about the chosen one and shit like that, and I love it personally. I mean, I I love spending time with other characters, sure, but if it's about Harry, let's get down to it, and like let's tell this story. I think that's kind of where Game of Thrones kind of went wrong a little bit, but that's I'm not going to go there. Um, all that to say, do I necessarily agree with his comments? In some facets, sure, but um, storytelling is subjective, just like comedy or whatever, like music. You like what you like, you don't what you don't. So if you don't like the way J.K. Rowling built her world, okay, don't watch or don't read. Nobody's forcing you to do anything. But what I will say is that there was a lot of hate in what he was saying. Like he clearly felt that way because of J.K. Rowling's public stance about certain things. Which is, I mean, if you hate her and you think by shitting on what she's created is going to, you know, help you get clicks or views. I get it, man. It's all a game, and you've got to play the game to make sure your TikTok gets a million views or whatever. So that's fine. It doesn't bother me. Like I told you, anytime I see that kind of discourse, I pretty much just scroll by it. It just doesn't mean anything to me, honestly.
All right, thank you for that. Now we have two movie trailers. Nicolas Cage stars in the first trailer for Dream Scenario. It's an A24 film in which a college professor, all the students and seemingly the whole town starts to have dreams with Nicolas Cage's character in it. And the kind of plot kind of unfolds from there in theaters November 10th. What are your thoughts on this trailer?
Yeah, it looked a little ridiculous. Shout out to Nicolas Cage. Shout out to A24. I'm sure you'll be there opening night. I don't really care about this.
Stop with the random shots at me, please. Stop doing that.
How was that a shot? What do you mean? You go to the movies 3 times a week, nigga. That's not a shot.
You can play coy if you want. I know you. Anyway, you fucking bitch. Yeah. This. I mean, it looks A24 as it gets, man. Nicolas Cage, I'm a fan of to various extents. I don't know if I watched it. It depends how slow. It depends how slow November is as a movie month, because this month actually absolutely sucks for movies. Like,
I agree.
I might watch 2 movies in theaters this month, and that's super rare. I watch 2 movies a week rarely, so that's actually kind of crazy. But yeah, who knows? We'll see. It's got an interesting premise. I'll say that. Last trailer is the big one here: Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom in theaters December 20th. We finally have the full trailer. What are your thoughts, man? James Wan's back. James Momoa is back. What are your thoughts?
Jason Momoa is back. Yes, Jason, not James. Guys, I I had to watch this trailer twice. I don't know. The first time I was watching it, I kind of like got bored, and like I literally turned it off with like a minute left. I was just like, this is like I think I like convinced myself that it just doesn't matter. Because, you know, of the direction they're going, and all the rest of the movies this year for DC and Marvel have been lackluster. So why should I believe, or why should I fool myself into believing that this one's going to be any different? But then I was like, you know what, that's not fair. Like, let me watch it. Let me actually make a decision after I've seen the full thing. And I was right the first time, because this trailer didn't do anything for me. It looked just like the first one, which I was not a huge fan of, but I didn't hate. I thought that it was just average at best. And I think that that's what this one's going to be. It's just Jason Momoa being Aquaman, like we've seen him be Aquaman for the past 10 years. It's going to be a lot of woos and a lot of mana. Yeah, like all that shit. And just, you know, him, him running around being strong. So cool. I thought it was absolutely hilarious that they refused to show
Amber Heard.
Amber Heard. Thank you. Damn. What's her name in the film? Why can't I think of his wife's
name? Mara.
Thank you. Queen Mara. Like the fucking Queen of Atlantis. Like, these niggas refused to show her ass. I thought it was hilarious. And
they showed her
like
once.
They showed her once, and like for like 0.1 seconds. And then, you know, there's the whole thing about people walking out of test screenings, which is just it's kind of sad, man. Like, I don't want to hear that about a test screening. Like, you're walking out of a test screening.
That's kind of wild, actually.
I mean, people are saying because, you know, they think that Yaya, bro, what is this nigga's name in the movie? No, like in the movie. In the
Black
movie,
Manta?
Black Manta. Thank you. Like,
hold on. Are you having a heart attack right now? Like,
I don't know. Like, I couldn't think of Black Manta's fucking name, but
you know, a Mitch McConnell.
Don't disrespect me, bitch. You said fuck. Niggas think that Black Man is gonna kill Aquaman's son in this movie, so they're just like, I'm not gonna watch him go kill a baby.
That's stupid.
Who cares? I hope she like strangles the fuck out of that kid if it's gonna mean something to the story. Yeah, I mean, look, this trailer looked aggressively mediocre / mid, which is what the first one was, in my opinion. That doesn't mean bad to me, you know, like an average movie. And that's pretty much what I'm expecting to go see when I go see it on opening fucking night. So what do you think, Monty? Please tell me you have a different opinion, please.
I actually do. I was surprised. I went into this trailer thinking that I was gonna hate it or think it was mid. This trailer looked actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I was pleasantly surprised by this trailer. Just a couple things to point out.
Trident. Yeah.
Every,
Okay.
everything, everything in comics, if it has black in front of it, it's you just know it's about to be some niggas attached.
Yeah, it is.
The costume, first of all, looks godly. I thought it looked godly in part one. I'm glad that they're actually going back to it. A lot of times in these movies, they'll like show something cool and then like not revisit it again. So I like that he has the comic accurate costume. It looks amazing. Um, I hope Yaya can redeem himself. I've been on the pod many times stating I hated his performance in Aquaman 1 as Black Manta. It just seemed so bad. And he's a good actor. So I was
He is.
confused. But this one, I like how he had the idea to come back and kind of redeem himself and have more to do. He's not just like a villain plucked out of thin air. This is part of Aquaman's lore. I love that, and so hopefully he can get his opportunity to really shine in the role of Black Manta. Even though, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, it means nothing in the end. Well, that's not true. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of Arthur and Orm teaming up together. I think I love me a team up movie. I think they have different enough personalities that they can really bounce off each other. You got the straight guy and you got the wild comedic guy. Speaking of Orm, when the fuck did Patrick Wilson get this fucking swole? I was like, what the fuck? Is that a body double? Is that a fucking CGI? Like, this is Patrick Wilson, like from Insidious movies and Conjuring. Like, when did you get this swole, bro? I was like, wow, like his body's like on par with like Jason Momoa's almost. I was like, that's kind of crazy. If you committed for this movie for that, props to you. The whole thing you said about the baby storyline that's an iconic Aquaman storyline in the comics when his baby dies and the arm gets cut off and he gets the hook for the arm. I hope it plays out in the movie just like you, man. I want it to be, as gruesome. The more gruesome, the better, because that's gonna really infuriate Arthur and give him more of like a motivation to push the plot forward and have a really a grudge towards his arch nemesis, which is Black Manta. So I look forward to that storyline hopefully coming to fruition. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I was impressed by it was colorful, it looks wild, it looks fun. But so did part one in the trailer, but who knows? Maybe this one will be different. But yeah.
I hope you're right.
I only have 2 reviews here. I saw 2 movies. Did you see any movies or shows?
We're going to see A Haunting in Venice tonight, so I haven't seen anything since.
Have you seen Death on the Nile or the other one?
I
Or
saw Death
Murder
on
on
the
the Orient
Nile.
Express?
I saw
Murder on the
Murder on
Orient
the Orient
Express?
Express. Yeah, I saw both of those.
Okay. Okay, so you've seen both. You've seen all movies in the trilogy now. Okay, cool.
Oh, it's a
Well, let me
trilogy.
know.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that. Got it. Literally did
Kenneth,
not know that.
the same detective in every movie? That
Mm-hmm.
never
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
ring the bell? Never clicked for you?
Nope. I was like, wow, he looks familiar. Didn't realize it was a
Yeah,
trilogy.
yeah, you might be having like a Mitchell Connell moment for real right now. But okay. The first movie I saw was Sitting in Bars with Cake. This is the movie starring Yara Shahidi. It's inspired by the heartbreaking true story of 2 friends who got together and they started this business of selling cake in bars to impress boys. And then one of the friends gets cancer. We've seen this kind of movie before, with like Fault in Our Stars and stuff like that. Um, First of all, this movie has 2 characters. Yara actually did really good. She's getting better as an actress every movie that she's in. I thought she started off abysmal as an actress, if I'm being honest, and now she's getting better. I'm a fan of her in Grownish. Her co-star did really good in the role. She's the one that actually gets cancer in the film ultimately. But my biggest problem with the film is that I found the co-star, the one who got cancer, so unlikable. Um, it kind of subtracted from me the film. Like, obviously, if anybody gets cancer, I'm going to feel bad for you. Like, I'm going to feel some kind of empathy for you. But I just would have felt so much more connected to that character if I had liked her character. Like, they made a weird decision. This could be all my opinion, my subjectiveness, but she was like unbearable to the point where it was like, oh my god, get the fuck off the screen. She was like, um, it just had that white girl, like that first world problems, but can't see that, like Yara Shahidi, as a person of color, can't see her trials and tribulations and just refuses to just push her agenda. Like, it's, if you watch the movie, I feel like you'll agree with me, honestly. She just feels like an entitled character that I just wanted to kind of get off the screen. And I don't ever hate movies for depicting characters that I deem unlikable, because that's not a movie's job. The movie's job is to show people how they really are in real life. And I know some girls like her, so I mean, I'm not faulting the movie for that, but I am faulting the movie for wanting me as the audience member to form a connection with her, knowing that she's just unbearable. So if that makes any sense. But overall, the movie, man, it just lacks energy. Why are you laughing at me?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead
The
with
movie
your
just
little review. Go ahead.
the movie just lacks energy to me. It feels like a diet Fault in Our Stars to an extent. Yara gives a wonderful, at the end, like a good monologue, and she overall just a good performance. But um, it just feels like a streaming movie if I've ever seen one. And so ultimately, I gave it a C. Not bad, not good, but this movie could have been a lot better. with those kind of heartstrings that it tugs on, I guess. So yeah, Sitting in Bars with Cake on Hulu. Next review is for Satanic Hispanics. Do you remember the trailer for this movie?
No. Oh, is this the one with like the anthology?
Yeah, so it's the loosely based anthology. It's six different Hispanic Latino directors come together, and there's one main storyline, and there's stories that kind of branch out from the main storyline that are kind of all connected, and they all act like anthology horror stories, like they're like kind of loosely connected to the main story. I thought it was a wonderful idea, by the way, for a movie. It's funny too that I remember going to this movie and the ticket guy just happened to be like a young Hispanic man, and I showed him my ticket. I scanned it. He was like, "Wait, what the fuck? What kind of movie title is this?" He's like, "Wait, we're showing this?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh, okay, theater 14." The fuck? But yeah, I guess no one had bought a ticket that day because we were like the only ones in the theater. So yeah. Um this movie, like I said, has an amazing setup, or an amazing setup, amazing premise, but it just wasn't executed well once again. This movie was bad. But it does have highlights though, like it's got 6 different chapters. Chapters 2 and 3 were actually really good. Chapter 2 is like just a basic horror formula for like a little short 30-minute film. It had a great ending. Chapter 3 was like what if Dracula was like Hispanic, like it was like a spoof comedy take, and that was actually really funny as well. And then chapter 4, 5, and 6 went to hell, no pun intended. Chapter 4 was like some kind of fever dream, and chapter 5 was like um this like quirky take on like a possession story. It just didn't work for me. And overall, chapter 6 just didn't do a good job of tying the movie up, in my opinion. But like I said, just a great idea. But I wish the interconnection between the stories meant more because it just felt so different, like between each chapter. So yeah, that's my review. I gave it a D, unfortunately, for Satanic Hispanic. It started off really good though, if I'm being honest.
Oh,
Um, Let's go to some other news, guys. Winning Time has been canceled by HBO Max after 2 seasons. The fan base for this show has been really crying out loud. Like they love this show, that they're surprised. It came out of nowhere, according to them. I've been hearing nothing but good things about the show, even when season 1 came out. Basketball fans love it. What you don't watch the show, but what are your thoughts on this cancellation of Winning Time?
yeah. It's too bad all those 100,000 fans are crying. Oh no, not enough of you niggas watched the show. Plain and simple. So it got canceled.
You have no sympathy. Wow.
I don't know.
Hmm. Okay. I'm sure there were shows that you've loved before that got canceled just because your fan base wasn't big. That's not indicative of the show's how good the show is.
Yeah, I didn't say that. But if only
Oh,
100,000 people watch it, it's not gonna last. Sorry.
okay. Uh, One Piece on Netflix has been renewed for season 2. Guys, check out our One Piece live action review. It's
Mhm.
out right now on YouTube and on. I feel so good to say it's out on YouTube, and you can check it out on Apple, whatever the fuck it's on.
Damn,
But
nigga. Yeah. What a plug. Jesus Christ. Go ahead, Monty.
plug it,
Keep going. No.
plug it, bro. Plug. Oh wait,
Got
that sounded crazy. Oh my god.
Wow.
Um,
YouTube.com/the current era podcast or anywhere you listen to your podcast. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the plug. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and Tony Chopper has been confirmed to appear and by Oda to appear in season 2. I'm excited just to see what the fuck they gonna do with this nigga. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the season 2 renewal?
Yeah, I mean, look, we kind of talked about this on the we did talk about this on the live action review, but um, I didn't want any more just because like I know the job is only going to get harder, and the fact that Oda confirmed the fact that Chopper is going to be here, um, yeah, it's that's going to be the biggest question mark in season 2. Like, what the fuck are they going to do? Are they actually going to make this nigga a human? Like, are they just going to do it and just make him human? Or are they just going to CGI him and make him look like Pikachu from Detective Pikachu?
Are
So
you good?
I don't know
Are you good
what
today? Are you good
nigga.
today?
Am I not allowed to think?
No, nigga, this is like, this shit that you should know. Like, you know hell about DC. You know a lot about DC. You know a lot about all this stuff that you're just forgetting. Are you having like a mini stroke over there?
I said Detective Pikachu, bitch.
I would drive to
Nigga,
Vegas right now
drive.
and get you.
I'll see you in 3 days, bitch. Yeah. Do I? I mean, look. Ultimately, this is a great thing for One Piece fans. Just because more people are going to watch something that you love, but I the job is only going to get harder. You've got to figure out how you're going to do completely like more devil fruits with like a nigga who's completely smoke and who's completely sand. Um, and make it look believable for an entire season. So we'll see. We'll see if they do it. I'm rooting for
Guys,
them.
fuck this spiteful nigga. I'm somebody who watched the show for the first time, had no context. I love season 1. I want season 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. If they have a bigger budget than Game of Thrones, I'm pretty sure they can pull off the smoke or the sand, nigga, whatever you're talking about. I'm here for it. Let's go One Piece live action. Gum gums. All right. Brightburn 2 is in the
Nigga said just like him.
Brightburn 2 is in development. The producers plan to use AI in the creative process. I don't know why they would even reveal such a thing, but the part 1. Well, what are your thoughts on Brightburn, the first one, and do you want a sequel to Brightburn?
Never saw the first one. The concept.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the concept was the concept on paper seemed interesting, but once I saw the trailer, I was like, this is going to be stupid. And based on what I saw when it came out, I was right. So don't care about the second one. It's weird, like you said, that they like publicly announced that they're going to use AI because that's so taboo now. But hey, you know, if it helps them during the creative process, then sure, whatever. Fuck the writers. You're gonna
I see.
make that room of 20 writers go down to 3 and just use the AI. Yes. Skynet is coming, bitch.
Fast and Furious has been doing it for years. For those who don't know, Brightburn is the horror movie that came out a couple years ago with the little kid. Basically, it's Superman evil. A little kid has the powers of Superman, and what if Superman turned evil and he's like terrorizing the town? I thought part one was such a great idea, man. It was but it could have been executed a lot better. It wasn't a horrible movie, but it wasn't necessarily good either. But that movie ended up with him ultimately like destroying the world. So I'm like, will part 2 pick up where that left off, or will we do something else with it? I'm not sure, but I'm here for it just because I love me some Superman story, whichever route you take. And so I just want to see how they go about part 2. Will they learn from their mistakes in part 1? We'll see. Steve Glover, brother of Donald Glover, which is otherwise known as Childish Gambino, reveals that the Star Wars Lando series is now a movie, and this has been confirmed by Lucasfilm. What are your thoughts on a Lando Calrissian movie as opposed to a series now? Why are you what the fuck are you laughing at?
I wish my thoughts were more positive, but they really aren't. Hey, look, I like Donald Glover, and I think that he's a good enough actor that he can hold a movie together. So I'll be there opening night to support, whether it's good or bad, you know. And we'll get to see young Lando. I don't care about Lando Calrissian. I just fucking don't. Like, I don't care about him as a character. So the fact that they're doing, I do not give a single fuck about him. So the fact that they're doing an entire movie about him, you know what? The movie is probably going to be, it'll probably be easier to get through than a series, where like a week by week series. So give me the movie, make it less than 2 hours, and let's do it. Let's do it.
You're so negative. Well, as a Black Star Wars fan, you not liking Lando Calrissian is like almost like blasphemy.
I like Darth Vader.
All we got is 3.
Wait. Because I'm black, I have to like the only black character that they have. No, nigga.
That's how it works.
No,
nigga.
That's not how it works. No,
I like Zach from Power Rangers because he's black. I like Lucas from Stranger Things because he's black. Yes, nigga, that's how it fucking works, bitch. I like Bonnie from Vampire Diaries because she's black. Yes, that's how they know how to get me, and they get me every time.
Boy, they got you on the line, boy. Damn, they never gonna let go.
Never, wow. Nigga.
How do we get the black audience in here? Put a black guy in there. Yeah,
nigga. We got Lando, Finn, and Windu, nigga. Not fuck Reva. But and Darth Vader. I don't care what anybody say. He black to me. Mm-hmm.
Hold on. What about Misawa? My nigga Jar Jar Binks. You don't count. Right,
I'm not best can go to hell. Okay.
No.
Let's talk some. Oh, my thoughts on the Lando movie. Yeah, I want it. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Donald Glover. Let's do it. Yeah, I'm here for it. What do you want Alden Ehrenreich to return as Solo in the movie, or do you think he will return as Han Solo in the movie?
He will. Do I want it? No, but he will.
Because remember, Solo ended with them like going off and doing adventures or some shit. So, let's talk some numbers, guys, for all my nerds out there. HBO Max is going to be streaming NBA games this upcoming season at no additional cost. They're going to show 65 regular season NBA games, the in-season tournament, NBA All-Star Weekend, 2024 NBA playoffs, and inside the NBA. I know you're a big NBA fan. Is this appealing to you?
So it was at a face level when I read that. I was like, wow, this is pretty freaking cool. And then I realized it's just the TNT games. So basically, if you don't have cable, and you only have HBO Max or whatever, like you only have streaming shit, then there are games for you to watch. But I have cable, so I this doesn't help me. I'll be able to watch anything that they're putting on HBO or just Max, whatever. It's
But you
it's
can't
basically
record
just going to
it.
be TNT games. What do you mean I can't
I
record it?
mean, do you have TiVo?
Duh, nigga, who doesn't have TiVo? What?
Okay.
Nigga just try me.
No.
We broke, nigga. Got TiVo, nigga.
I mean, I haven't had TiVo since high school. I have no need for cable TV anymore. I can find anything I want on streaming or online. So that's why this can be appealing to somebody like me who's not going to buy League Pass, but I do want to see the big game. So who knows? We'll
Okay,
see.
there you go, Monty. Hey, there you go.
Don't do that. You just constantly condescend me. You're just a horrible friend.
Okay.
Max has the highest cancellation rate of any of the streaming platforms at 26.9%. Is that surprising to you? And why do you think that is?
Well, it is surprising because that's just a big number, but I think it's because they don't have a constant lineup of things to keep people. Like Disney Plus keeps me because they've got a Marvel show, then they've got a Disney show, then they've got American Born Chinese, and then they got another Marvel show, and da, 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 da. Like it's all rolling into something. Even now, like Ahsoka's going to end in a week and a half, and then Loki's going to start like the week after. So what the fuck am I supposed to do once Game of Thrones ends? Like literally, like what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like there's nothing to watch. So
Euphoria.
even yeah, get the fuck out of here. I mean, but look, even if it was just Euphoria, or if it's Peacemaker, or what's that robot show that's super popular on HBO?
Westworld.
Westworld. Yeah, like even if it's that's only four things. That's only four things. Like that can't even cover a year. So yeah, they need more content, or they need DC to start cranking out some of these shows. I don't know. I mean, I still have my shit for now, but you know, I don't know. I guess I should cancel it because I don't watch it. Literally, I have not turned the shit on in months. So yeah, maybe I will cancel it.
Actually, that's pretty surprising to me, man. I think Max has like some of the best content out of all the streaming platforms. In terms of like their movie catalog is amazing. They got some good shows. Yes, Disney and Netflix have like that more of that formula of just constantly putting shit in your face. But Max shit is always known, even since like the early 2000s, to have that quality. Like whether it be The Wire or fucking what's The Sopranos. Like they always have just quality content. Game of Thrones, and so I'll take the quality that I have to wait 2 or 3 months in between having quote unquote nothing, as opposed to just Disney Plus giving me C plus shows every other week. So this is actually really surprising to me. They have a lot of good shit on HBO Max. And just for the other numbers, Disney Plus is second at 21.1% cancellation rate. Paramount Plus is third at 16.9%, Hulu 15.2%, and then Netflix at 10.2%.
Wow, interesting.
Here are some movies that caused a financial loss in Disney this year. Just want your thoughts on this. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and Haunted Mansion all caused a financial loss to Disney Plus. Or Disney, not Disney Plus, as Disney as a whole. Any surprises there?
I mean, it's surprising that any MCU film caused a loss.
I agree.
If I'm being real, but Indiana Jones, I'm sorry, but do you want to see fucking 90-year-old Harrison Ford up to his old tricks in the seventh film, eighth film? I don't. And I did not see that movie, so I literally supported to that loss. What was the third one? Haunted Mansion. Yeah,
Haunted Mansion, yeah.
that shit looked ass by the trailer. Like I still don't know why you went to see that. Like even all those actors involved, I was just like, bro, like this looks terrible, and I did not support it. So I also contributed to that financial loss. What do you think about that, Monty?
Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp is definitely surprising to me. I mean, like you said, it's an MCU property. It had to be word of mouth as to why people didn't go see it. Because I mean, why else?
Mm-hmm.
They were all over the place in terms of the marketing and the trailers. So I assume that was word of mouth. Indiana Jones, I saw They put hella that movie had like a super high budget for an Indiana Jones movie. I thought it was okay. I watched all the Indiana Jones movies prior to that, like 2 weeks before, for context, and so not surprising there, just because of the huge budget, not because of the return, I guess. And Haunted Mansion, yeah, no surprise there either, to be honest. Here's that same thing for Warner Brothers. This all the movies that caused them financial loss this year so far: Shazam, Fury of the Gods, The Flash, Blue Beetle, and Magic Mike 3. Three of those at DC? That's actually kind of crazy.
Damn. That's not just three DC. That's all of DC has released this year.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
That's horrible.
like I said earlier, why should I not believe that this Aquaman movie is going to like do the exact same thing? I don't know, man. It kind of speaks to the fact that I was trying to say earlier. Like people just know that this shit doesn't matter anymore, and they're just like, I'm not going to waste my money or my time to go see this shit when like you're finna recast Jason Momoa, or maybe you're not, but like whatever he's doing now doesn't matter because it's in like the current timeline or whatever. And yeah, like it's I don't know. It really sucks that all. I mean, I went to see all these movies opening night except Magic Mike. Is that Channing Tatum, Magic Mike?
Yes.
Yeah, that's also the third sequel when he's like 50. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Shazam. Oh my god, that's still the worst movie of the year, so that's not surprising.
No, it's not.
The Flash. The Flash. I didn't hate the Flash, but it definitely wasn't good. But I think the Ezra Miller thing just people are like, no, you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay one way or another. And then what was the third one? Oh, Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle.
I don't know. I liked the Blue Beetle. It was a average film. We've seen it a million times before, but it wasn't bad enough to where it should have contributed to a loss, in my opinion. But whatever. People are just like, I'm not going to see this shit.
Yeah, man, that's actually really surprising. James Gunn has a huge task ahead of him to get DC back on track. I mean, Superman's going to be the movie to do it, I guess, if you're going to do it.
It is the movie to do it.
The Flash is a huge surprise for me just because he's like a household name in terms of a superhero. So it had to be the Ezra Miller thing. The whole thing with Shazam, that's surprising as well because part one did so well. Excuse me, Jesus Christ. Part one did well. Dab. Blue Beetle, I'm surprised at Blue Beetle because like, why did the Hispanic community not go out and just like crazily support that, like how they did Wakanda Forever? I don't know, but yeah, DC is in trouble, and here are the movies that caused a loss to Paramount Pictures in 2023. Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, which I think is a really good movie, guys. Please check it out. It's actually streaming right now. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. Those are the only two for Paramount. Any thoughts on those? I don't think you saw either of those.
Nah, I didn't. What do you think as I respond to this message from work real quick?
Yeah, like I said, guys, watch Dungeons and Dragons. If it's like Guardians of the Galaxy, but in medieval times, that's like the best comparison I can give it to you. It's got that fun, quirky kind of humor and action, and it's got a good family dynamic. I think it's really worth watching. I think this movie will get an audience like as the movie goes on, as it's released. Like people will be like, you know what, that actually was good. I saw it on Hulu the other day. That's actually a really good movie, and hopefully part 2 can come out. And Mission Impossible, I fell off after Ghost Protocol. I stopped watching them, not because they're bad, just for some reason I fell off. I'm going to watch all of them one day. But this is surprising because Tom Cruise is like one of the last remaining movie stars. And, you know, this has a huge cult fan base as well. So I was surprised this movie didn't do well, actually.
It's interesting because that movie made what 400 to 500, maybe even 600 million. But I think the budget and the marketing is just so big that it still took a loss, which is, you know, that's crazy. I mean, it doesn't really matter because part 2 is already filmed and scheduled, so they're gonna release that shit either way. But it may matter for films beyond that because I'm sure Tom Cruise doesn't want to quit anytime soon, even though he's like 60. So yeah. What was the other movie?
Just Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I didn't see that one either. So yeah, shout out to Dungeons and Dragons.
And last bit of news here, guys, is for the video game community. We have the trailer for Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door has been released. It's coming out with enhanced graphics next year. If you're a fan of Mario Brothers or that Super Mario or the Paper Mario Brothers, go check it out, guys. It's online right now. And last thing is the Marvel's The Avengers game will be delisted forever on September 30th. It's currently 90% off on sale at only $4 right now, which is I remember when this game was announced, it was like a big deal, a big thing. People shitted on it automatically because of the graphics, and it just went to hell from there. It's surprising that an Avengers game is doing this bad. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man, it's interesting. It's like you said, like people played this game and like immediately they were just like, "What is this bullshit?" Like I don't know, like it's one of those things where like conceptually it sounds like a great idea, and then when you put the pen to paper and you release it, it just doesn't come together. Like for whatever variety of reasons. Like I'm sure there'll be a documentary about this. Like seriously, like there will be a fucking documentary about how awful this game was. Um, I mean, there was more things besides like the graphics from what I heard. Like it was gameplay. It was very glitchy. The features that were promised wasn't either weren't there or they didn't work. Like it was just a mess. Um, so it's not surprising that this game is going away forever. Literally no other resources should ever be put towards this game. And yeah, go to hell. Marvel's The Avengers. Jesus Christ. Um,
Yeah, that's crazy.
one last
I never
thing.
heard of a game.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. No,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I never heard. I never. Go ahead. You're a fucking bully, bitch.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go.
You're annoying. Look, one last thing before we get out of here. I just wanted to talk about Mortal Kombat 1. It has been released. I did not buy the game. I pulled a Mondy and I watched the YouTube storyline. And it was fantastic. It was actually really good. Like I challenge you guys to watch it. You know, even if you're not caught up on all the Mortal Kombat and all the timelines, it's still a damn good time. And it just makes me sad that like that they just can't do this live action like anything like this because you know Mortal Kombat 2021 was just so fucking awful. And you know what? I'm gonna go on a tangent here. I don't like to do my tangents, but I'm gonna go on one. I was on like a Mortal Kombat rabbit hole, and I learned that the whole Cole Young storyline in Mortal Kombat 2021 was mandated by the WB brass. Like they made them put that character in the movie because they thought that fans wouldn't know who some of the original characters were, and they needed a vessel to help explain stuff. Which is also why they did the whole if you have powers, it's because you have this mark kind of thing. And yeah, holy shit. So WB needs to like release the property or at least the movie property for Mortal Kombat immediately. I believe they should be fired like effective immediately. Um, Mortal Kombat in the first Mortal Kombat in 1995, there were actually reshoots to two iconic fights. One was for Scorpion versus Johnny Cage, which Robin Shou, who played Liu Kang, he actually choreographed that fight. And the other was Liu Kang versus Sub Zero, which he also choreographed. No. It was Liu Kang versus Reptile, which he also choreographed, which is the best fight in the fucking movie. So shout out to Robin Shou. Like, you're a god for making those two fights just as great as they were. Because the Scorpion and Johnny Cage fight is iconic as well, in my opinion. And another thing, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. How fucking dare you, bitch? How dare you just exist and be terrible? Mondy, the reins are back in your hands, sir.
That's it. Thank you for your MK rant. I will be checking out the storyline of Mortal Kombat 1 on YouTube. Thank you for reminding me. And yeah, that wraps it up. That wraps it up.
Thanks, man. You're the best, Mondy. Thank you.
Thank you.